Hi, welcome to Storytime with Gigi. Today we're reading a story by Arch Books called The Feast That Almost Flopped. Our story was written by Carol Greene and illustrated by Dawn Cooker. The whole town of Cana was happy and bustling. The day of the wedding had finally arrived. At Barnabas's house, the musicians were waiting, and Barnabas watched them, his chest swelled with pride. Weddings are happy occasions. For here at his house would the wedding take place, a feast such as never before had been held. For weeks Mrs. Barnabas cooked and cleaned house till everything sparkled and how it smelled. Inside, the bride Rachel was fixing her hair and adjusting her veil just ever so slightly. Outside, the groom Daniel was chewing his beard while butterflies danced and the flowers smiled brightly. At last, the big garden was brimming with guests, all dancing and singing a wedding day tune, and gobbling up goodies and gulping down wine, and oohing and awing the bride and the groom. Now Jesus, his mother, and several disciples were there having fun with the rest of the guests. "I'm so glad you've come, for they're really quite special," said Barnabas proudly, his thumbs on his chest. "You see, Mrs. B, I'm the best host in Cana. At wedding feast giving, the first prize is mine." Then up ran a servant, all trembling and panting. "Oh, Barnabas, sir, we've just run out of wine." Oh my, you can't run out of wine at a festival or a feast or a celebration. Now this was a serious state of affairs. To run out of wine would mean total disgrace. "I boasted too much and I planned not enough," moaned Barnabas, beads of sweat dotting his face. "Look, Jesus," cried Mary, who'd heard the whole thing. "They've run out of wine and that poor man looks sick. A miracle would be so easy for you. Please, Jesus, make Barnabas more wine, and quick." Jesus looked at his mother and said very sternly, "My Father's plan must come first, Mother, not you." Then he turned and saw Rachel and Daniel so happy and knew what his father would want him to do. "Go fill these 6 jugs with fresh water," said Jesus. The servants ran quickly to do what he said. Then dipped out a cup and to Barnabas hurried. He stood in the corner, still mopping his head. He took just a sip and his face beamed with pleasure. "Why, this is the best wine I've tasted all year." "The groom must have bought it now. Tell the truth, Daniel. When did you sneak in and leave the wine here?" Daniel just stood there and hugged Rachel tighter. "I didn't do it," he said with a grin. "The servants all knew, though, and did their tongues flutter. 'Twas Jesus who did it. The wine came from him." What a story they got to tell. Jesus made the wine at their wedding. And soon all the garden was buzzing with whispers. This Jesus is God's Son, a good friend and mighty. They thanked him and praised him and then went on feasting, while butterflies danced and the flowers smiled brightly. And that's our story. I hope you liked it. That was the very first miracle that Jesus ever did, was at a wedding. I hope you liked it. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share with your friends. And bye until next time.